Okay, we come back here to our Raiders Live postgame again, presented by Rich Zangara at Wells Fargo Advisors, and Ed Breheney joins us here, the living legend himself, after his 400th career victory as the Raiders beat East Brunswick 50-40 here at the Brunswick Classic Holiday Tournament in New Brunswick. And so, Coach Breheney, first of all, congratulations. Much different story than yesterday. Yesterday, you guys struggled from the free throw line. Today, much different story. 18 of 22 from the line today. Corey Smith came up big for you today. What was the difference between today and yesterday?
Well, we talked with the kids. There was a lot of disappointment after yesterday's game. We felt like it was one we certainly could have or maybe should have had. So we got together before the bus this morning, got on the floor, went over a couple of things. And it's just about, like we try to tell the kids, the disappointment of yesterday, getting knocked down, but to be able to come back and have an opportunity as a basketball player, come back 24 hours later and get back at it. Sometimes in football, you have a rough game, you got 6-7 days to sit about it, but we were thankful for the opportunity to come back and get this one the very next day.
Now that you finally have it, that 400th win, I know you told me before the season when I talked to you before the Woodbridge game, you weren't really thinking about it as more for another day, but now that, and you got a couple of handshakes, not a lot of fanfare, streamers or anything like that, so kind of quietly, and I think that's the way. I remember when Iverson Fleming, when he scored his 1,000th point in the game at Woodbridge, and you guys kept playing the game. And I think that's kind of, just how you've been, just kind of going about your business and doing what you're supposed to do. But, deep down, obviously it must feel good, though, to achieve, this level of success.
Well, it did, and I appreciate that. We try to stay even keel as we can, but today was a special day. Just recently had my brother Jimmy approved as a volunteer coach, so he was able to be on the bench with us. And my wife Diane and my daughter Megan were able to come up from Point Pleasant and see the game. So those are the things, because we talk about coaches' wives and families. They're the ones that pay the price of not always being home and doing all the stuff I've done over the years with basketball. So it is special. The more special that they were here to see it, and a special moment. You're right.
It's ironic that you were against East Brunswick today, because Bo Henning, who was a longtime coach at East Brunswick, you were tied with him at 399, and then to pass him today, so you and Coach Henning, coached a lot of years. You've gone up against him quite a number of times, and so it's kind of ironic.
He's a great friend, very great coach, enjoying his retirement now. And the current coach, Coach Mott, he was my student teacher and a volunteer coach in our championship team in 1997. So it almost came full circle that Mott would also be here today. And he was very gracious with his congratulations also.
And it seems like, Raheem Byram, he was your biggest cheerleader today. He came over to me a couple of times and said, "We're going to get it, 400, we're going to get it." And and I saw him during one of the timeouts there on the sideline there, talking to the guys. And we talked about it earlier as well. He seems like, one of your biggest supporters.
Well, also his 40th birthday today, ironically.
Happy
birthday to Raheem. When you look back at my career, probably one of the greatest teams we had, he was the heart and soul of us in championship teams. And heart and soul and spirit are what he's all about. And he relates well to the kids, and it's just a blessing for us to have him on our staff with us.
I was talking about Tim Howard, and, obviously, a lot of people know Tim Howard because he went on to become a USA goalkeeper in soccer. And so the success that he's had, but, also that you mentioned that championship team, John Sipod, Dave Stringer, Steve Bridgman, a lot of guys from that group. Those guys got you a lot of those wins. Do you feel like, that team, kind of helped you, spring forward, if you will, helped you kind of, believe in what you were doing?
Yeah, one of my mentors was the great Steve Libro, and I remember at the time Steve was the AD, and when we won that championship run and put that banner up, he spoke to me about, the second phase of your coaching life after you've had that accomplishment, that you have one under your belt, and it does lend to your confidence and gives a little credence and to the belief in the things that you're doing are positive and the things that you believe in do work. So when you have a year like that, it really is something, a foundation to go forward from. And we still hark back to those days once in a while, but hey, credit to these kids. These kids are 3-1. We're still a work in progress, but they're off to a good start, and we're enjoying this team very much.
I look at, for example, East Brunswick, they're going with a bit of a younger group, and you've had younger groups, you've had more veteran groups, you've seen a little bit of everything. What would you call this group here? Would you call this more of a veteran group or a younger group?
I feel like we're going through it for the first time with them. Okay, even though Jabri and Jaquil were on a team last year, we have a transfer with Donovan. And also some younger kids. Isan is really starting for the first time. So I think when we get in these tight games, like yesterday against South Brunswick, it's a learning experience. I think the upside. I don't think we're anywhere near our ceiling. Is what I'm trying to say. I think that we're learning from mistakes that we make, and January is going to be a huge month for us. Can we go in our division and do well, and can we get a good position for both tournaments? So I think there's so much growth to be had in the next month coming up.
Coach Breheney referring to the GMC tournament and then the state tournament coming up, later on in the season. Like you said, I think January you start off you at Sayreville, at JFK.
No home games for a while.
No, you got to come back here to New Brunswick.
Yes.
At Edison. So like you said, you guys are going to be packing some food
yes.
On the way. So how do you prepare for something like that?
That's where I think today could be a big step for us to get out of our comfort zone of our own gym and get a W. Even though it's not technically an away game, it's on a different court. And I think the experience of going through that and hanging. I don't think we hang on in the game. They made a little run at us in the fourth quarter, but I like the way Corey stepped up, made his free throws, and it's like anything else. Once you accomplish something, next time we're in that tight situation, I think better things will happen because we've been through it. They're high school kids, and you hope there's carryover, you hope there's learning from one game to the other.
You mentioned about your second coaching life. What mistakes from your previous coaching life, if you will, were you able to correct in your second coaching life?
I've X and O wise, I've become much more multiple. I used to think that not playing man to man was a sign of weakness, and I wised up and said there's times for zone pressure, there's time for zone, and I think also I might have been a little more of a dictator in my younger days. I think I'm much more approachable when the kids have an idea. Hey, it's their team, not mine. And if they want to try something or they want to do something, I think I'm involved in that way, and I think that's a good thing because at the end of the day, it's about the kids, not about the coaches.
So you mellow it out a little bit. You let guys like Coach Byram do the screaming and yelling.
Yeah, let the young voices take over.
Yeah, absolutely. And your other coaches as well, Michael Herman, John Sook, Kevin Totten. It's obviously,
great group.
Yeah, obviously they support you as well.
Great group. No one would stay in coaching as long as I have if they didn't have a great staff.
Yeah, Tim Huber. I look at Tim Huber, got a coach for you.
How ironic he was here today too. He was a big part of many of those wins.
Yes.
I thank Tim for all things he did for us. So great staff. I'm blessed. Great staff. I got a great family, and I got kids that want to go out and play some basketball. Life's good.
Mark Zielinski was here at the game yesterday. I know he's got a game of his own today.
Close friend of mine.
Yes, he was here. He was with you for a long time, and so with you for many of those wins too.
Yes, Coach Z. I learned so much from him, being an assistant in football to him. He was my assistant in basketball, and we have a lifelong friendship that's tremendous.
My last question then is, do we get to see number 500 at some point from you?
Let's go. 401's on the docket first. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Yeah. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, God willing.
All right. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.